Alright, welcome back. Hope everyone's having a lovely day, a lovely night wherever you're from. And real quick, before we get started, I want to give a lovely shout out to the channel members on this channel. So thank you so much to these lovely commanders here that you see on screen. Thank you guys so much for choosing to support me even further. You guys' generosity and gratitude means a lot to me, so thank you guys so much. And if you're actually interested in any of these cute and lovely emotes, the loyalty crown badges, if you want to support me even further, I do deeply appreciate it, so thank you if you choose to do so. But as always, just watching the content is truly the best way that you can support me. Liking, subscribing, commenting, everything really does help, so thank you guys so much. And before we get started, I just want to apologize, today's video is kind of late. I was out with family, we went to the beach, really beautiful, really nice time. So I just, I apologize for this video being a little late, but I hope you understand, so thank you guys. But as the title says, for today's video, I'm actually kind of surprised, but we actually got some tier list consensus already for Ein. It's kind of crazy that we already have some results. Usually I feel like it takes a little bit longer, but I guess with a lot of testing already done, we already have an idea for her. And even my own testing, I found some pretty positive results in my opinion. I thought she was pretty damn great, especially for, a standard mill, run-of-the-mill characters. And in terms of tier list, there's a lot of ways you can go about it. There's Nikke.gg, there is Lookin Waifus by Seiei, there's Pridewin, there is the JP tier list. So we're just gonna go with, the tried and true. We're just gonna go with Pridewin and go with the JP tier list just to, compare. No diss to Nikke.gg or Seiei. They work so hard on their tier list, especially Seiei. So, make sure you go check out Lookin Waifus. Go give him, some support. Really great dude. Mad respect to him. But with all that out the way, let's just get started and let's actually put it on screen. And right here, we're at the Pridewin, website. We're just over here at the normal. And then we're just gonna actually just look at the homepage, and then we're gonna hit the tier list. We're gonna go look at the change log real quick. Because at the change log, we can actually see that Ein was added. So that's pretty cool. So from here, we're just gonna scroll down and just wait until we find her. And okay, well, I guess we didn't have to wait that long. So she is already SS in low deficit, which makes sense. She's a pretty damn good starter character. If you need a banner character, she's pretty good. So, I see that $sign, and if I remember, that $sign means investment, which, yes, she is a very heavy investment character to make her shine. I feel like the minimum is 777 to get any results, so it makes sense. But with all that out the way, let's look. And okay, this is fair. Okay, SS low deficit, S for high deficit, SS for boss solo, and S for boss with ads, and then PvP. I actually wonder how she works in PvP, so that's kind of cool that she's actually doing alright, pretty decent. But these are pretty damn good results in my opinion. She's a good character. She can be really, really great, especially against bosses, but nothing super insane. So, I kind of respect it. And I know a lot of people can use a burst 3 sniper, especially for missiles if they're new. So this is a really great option. But as always, when it comes to, Pridewin, there always is pros and cons. So let's, get a good look and let's go to the review for her. And then let's just scroll down. And it says right here for the pros and cons, alright. Capable of unleashing great amount of true damage, allowing her to handle high defense enemies like a boss. Yep. She's great, dude. She deals so much damage. Not only that, but her drones are so insane. Her personal attack and true damage buffs are massive, and the former has high uptime. And then, yep, the noteworthy charge damage buff. I think that's from her skill too, if I recall. Auto-friendly sniper rifle unit. For me, I'm not that much into this game where I will start manualing snipers. I just kind of do auto. So, I know that's pretty good insight for some people with solo raid that are really super into it. But for me, I just kind of auto-friendly all of it. I'm not that interested in it personally. Small but useful AoE damage and burst skill that can benefit from all active full burst buffs. That's pretty cool. Damage is quite stable and does not fluctuate too much regardless of whether there's a core or not. Yeah, that is definitely true. And then just so freaking cute. Just a positive. But as for the cons, heavily skill dependent, does not pair well with charge damage buffs because of severe dilution. Interesting. Does not pair well with charge damage buffs because of severe dilution. Okay. Attack is slightly diluted for Ein. Yeah, I mean, I guess I would understand that because most of her damage really does just come from the drones or the quote-unquote near feathers, right? And that's interesting. I didn't know that her near feathers are tauntable in PvP. That's actually interesting. That's pretty cool. And then an alluring bait banner alongside the summer units just before a potential collab. She's not limited and can be put in wishlist. That is true. But there's already, you know, some plenty of information out there right now in regards to what's coming up next, which is interesting. And then the skill description is too vague. Yeah, I feel like some of their kits need a little bit more explanation than what they do, because most of the time you really have to start doing testing to understand, which is kind of unfortunate. But overall, I mean, they kind of cooked here. Like, I totally get it. And honestly, I think it's fair. I feel like a lot of units should be around like this. Not necessarily like SS constantly, but at least around the S, right? And I feel like that's good enough, in my opinion, like, to at least, you know, be worthy of still pulling. Even if you're doing it for collecting, or just having a part of the team, because this is viable, this is usable. When we get characters like Summer Neon or something, where they're just like not usable at all, that's a problem. But stuff like this is great. I like this. This is great. This is like good and work. Even an A tier character would work, right? So I'm pretty happy with how it turned out, especially on the Pride Win side of things. But then real quick, what I actually want to do is actually head on over and go look at the JP tier list real quick. And with the JP tier list, you know, this is just translated from Google, but they have a whole way of looking at it and stuff, which I find interesting, because the way that they do it here is that their overall ranking with her is SS, and then the reroll ranking is S+, boss battles is SS, small fry battles is S+, and arena is S. And that might look really, really good, which it actually kind of is for this character, but you know, the way that they do the JP tier list in terms of like, you know, the rankings, if we go back and we actually scroll down, we can see that it goes from SSS, SS, S+, S, and A+, and A. And me personally, I think the JP tier list is like maybe a little bit too much crowded. I feel like there needs to be another, like, at least one more letter in between all this, because I think it's really, really just crowded. And I don't think a lot of these units, you know, should like go together like they do here. Like, for instance, like they pair like characters like Soline here in the same area as like Sugar and Haran or something like that, and I completely disagree with that. Or characters like, you're gonna put the same like amount of like, you know, character for Marciana with like Nihilister. That's crazy to me. Like, I can't agree with that. But in terms of like, you know, putting Ein here at SS as like an overall ranking, and then having her near here with Scarlet and stuff, like I can definitely see where they're coming from with this. So I think it's kind of justified, honestly, especially with seeing like some of the DPS testing. I get it. I just wish there was like another space in between. But overall, it seems like a lot of people are happy with her, and she's a pretty strong, you know, contender in the meta, at least. Like, she's nothing like groundbreaking, but she's very good. So it's cool that whatever she does, she's doing it well. So that's awesome. So, you know, that's gonna be it for me. But, you know, other than that, let me know what are your thoughts on Ein. Did you pull for her? Did you pull for anybody else? Let me know. But that's gonna be it for me. So I hope you guys have a lovely day, a lovely night wherever you're from, and as always, thank you guys so much for the constant support. I really do appreciate it, and I hope you appreciate this little, you know, little bit late, but, you know, good video. So thank you guys.